Ladies and gentlemen, this is the last time this version of the Pelicans should play together. Now, during the offseason, the Pelicans end up trading for and gaining DeJounte Murray added to their team. So DeJounte Murray is going back to the point guard position. This allows CJ McCullough to take back over the shooting guard position. Brandon Ingram is your small forward. Zion is your power forward, I assume. And their center is, quite honestly, is to be the name. I don't know if it's going to be Daniel Tice. I don't know if they're picking out the rookie that's going to go out there, or they're going to say Trey Jameson. Jameson. I'm not too sure how to say his name. One of those three guys are going to be your starting center. And the reason why I'm saying this is the last version of this team that should be hitting the floor, because we got to figure this out. We have to roll. We need to roll badly. Jose Alvarado coming off the bench, a great hustle defensive point guard to have coming off the bench. A lot of heart and soul in the playoffs, by the way. He played really well, in my personal opinion. I don't know what the stats says, doesn't matter. Jordan Hawkins picked up nice little shooter to have coming off the bench also. You have Herb Jones, a great defensive wing player that this also is going to affect him mainly, in my personal opinion. Trey Murphy the third, being that backup, also backup shooting guard. Is he a shooting guard or a small forward or a power forward? I don't know what position he truly plays. He's 6'8", so I'm not too for sure. But this team, like I said, for me, this is the last year they can roll this type of team out, because last year, in the play-in, Zion, I think they could have won that play-in match against the Lakers. If you ask me, I think they would have beat that Lakers team if Zion got to finish that game. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I really think they could have finished that game. I think if he finished that game, I think they would have. I think they would have beat the Lakers. I think. I think. If not, they definitely would. They still beat the Kings anyway. But I feel like they would have beat they would have 100% beat the Lakers. Well, not 100%, but I feel like they had a really big chance of beating the Lakers before Zion went out. But outside of Zion's injury, we got to talk about Brandon Ingram and what's he supposed to do for this team, quite honestly. He's supposed to be this bucket getter. He was a guy I looked at as I thought he was going to be a multiple-time all-star level player. Maybe to an extent push himself up to that star level player, but he hasn't done that. He made the All-Star team once and then never went back. Never did anything else. He just when he gets injured, he's injured. Like, when he gets injured, he's out for a while. For a cool minute too. And every time I see him on the court, it feels like the team is trying to find a way to add Brandon Ingram to what they're trying to do. It feel like if the ball is moving and stuff, I feel like it's the Ingram, and Ingram wants to, do his little isolation or something to try to get a score. And I feel like that's not how the team should be ran. At the same time, they get the ball to Zion and they clear it out. But Zion continued to showcase that he can get to the basket and finish inside no matter how big and how much great a defensive player his opponent is. It just doesn't matter. One of the games I remember is him versus Giannis. Was that Christmas? I don't think it was Christmas. It might have been Christmas or no, I don't think it was Christmas. But I'm just watching one of their games, and Zion versus Giannis, and Brook Lopez is down low, and Zion it didn't matter. He took it to the hole and he finished. You know what I'm saying? He kept continuing to finish. And I was like, that's not what you want your offense to always be. But if the man's gonna keep finishing like this or grab his own rebound back and push it back in, who am I to complain about offense? You know what I'm saying? It works. It's working. And then when he's off the court, it's like they struggle heavily. So in the first round against my Thunder, outside of the very first game, pretty much I didn't feel like they can touch us in anything. I was like, I don't think we're going to have any problems against this team. Now, granted, Brandon Ingram was injured. He was coming off an injury. It's not like he played too many games before that playoff series. But at the same time, throughout the regular season and the past couple of years since he's been in New Orleans, outside of just the All-Star year, he hasn't taken that next step that I think a lot of us was thinking he was going to be able to take at some point or another. He just hasn't done it. So I'm like, is this all you have? Is this all you have to offer in the NBA? Are you just a regular 20-point per game scorer that sometimes can get you maybe 5 rebounds, can maybe get you 3 assists, Is that all you can do? Are you not going to increase defensively? Are you going to be an unstoppable offensive player? I think that would have been a nice upgrade if he was. I hate using comparison because they're both skinny, but personally I always felt like both Brandon Ingram and Michael Porter Jr., two guys who plays that small forward position that pretty much want to be bucket getters. I always say I don't know why they don't look at early Kevin Durant careers. The from 2012 and backwards. I don't know why they don't study that game of Kevin Durant and mold their game after that and watch his tapes and watch the films that he was doing. As I never understood why they just don't do that, because if they do that, then they can do better. But that's just me though. So if this is all Brandon Ingram can give you, then you're more than likely fine with pushing him to the side and getting him up out of there. Let's be honest. Now, what trades? Trades room for Brandon Ingram is always going to be there, but it might going to pop it off. Who knows? Plus, he's talking about he wants to sign a $200 million max contract. That's not happening. I'm not signing that man to any of that. You get a 1-year deal to prove to me that you deserve this money, but that front office should be like, yeah, here you go, Brandon. Now, he's going to get it in the market, whether that's from the New Orleans, which I highly doubt it, or it's one of these other teams that think they're right there. And then he'll just sign there, and then hopefully you get whatever you get from him. CJ McCollum is getting older, so I'm glad that bringing in DeJounte Murray, who's going to play the primary point guard and who can actually play make and play elite defense. I'm glad that happens, and CJ can go back to being a shooting guard. Now, I have a question, though. I do have a question. Despite the year he just had, right? Despite the year CJ McCollum just had for the Pelicans, should he come off the bench as an elite six man and allow Herb Jones to be that starting shooting guard? I'm just asking questions. Don't get upset at me. I'm just asking questions because if CJ come off the bench and he can guarantee you 15 to 22 points a game and allow Herb Jones to begin to start a lineup, that takes the ball out. That helps keep the ball in DeJounte Murray's, Brandon Ingram's, and Zion's hands. Those three guys, you kind of want the ball in their hands. Herb Jones could come in and continue that backcourt assassins of defensive-minded players with him and Murray, which would be awesome to have, right? And with that being said, CJ could become the elite scorer they can come off the bench with, because right now, outside of him, I mean, we thinking Trey Murphy's going to be able to do it. Jordan Harkins might be able to do it. And Jose Alvarado, he's pretty much a defensive-minded point guard. So CJ come off the bench and he's automatically the guy that can give you, like I said, between 15 to 8 to 22 points a game. A legit opportunity to be 6-man of the year candidate. I think that would be ideal. Are they going to do it? Probably not. No one thinks about this stuff on the outside. You know what I'm saying? No one talks about how I talk about how it could potentially run. Same thing like Bradley Beal. You come off the bench, you become an elite 6-man, and you can do a lot more damage, in my personal opinion. But like I said, they ain't gonna do everything I want to do. But this year they have to make the playoffs. No more play-in. They need to make the playoffs. They need to be a 6 seed. This year they finished as they won 49 and 33, but they lost both of the play-in games. They lost the first play against the Lakers and they became an 8 seed. How about no more of that? How about we just jump into the playoffs? Become a 6 seed. You won 49-33, same thing that the Suns won last year. Do it again. Be a 50-win team. You're right there. We're missing out on some golden matchups, and we also need to see what Zion Williamson looked like in the playoffs. Is that brand of bully ball going to be able to work in the playoffs? I would also like to see him healthy throughout the whole playoffs and healthy in the regular season. If not healthy, at least play 65 games and then let him rest up for some of them other games. I want to see what Zion looks like on the basketball court in the playoffs when the lights are the brightest. I would love to see what he looks like. Because right now, it's all about, well, he can do X, Y, Z. Like, can he, or are we just saying he can? You know what I'm saying? We'd love to see what's happening. But that's just my personal opinion about the Pelicans. Pelican fans, let me know what you're thinking about your team this year. Is this team, you think you guys can hit the 50 mark, be higher than the 6th seed? If you're in the playoffs, who is your best? What team do you want to see in the playoffs for them to go against? Etc., etc., etc. But you guys let me know down in the comment section. Hit the like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys on the next NBA team.